My name is Jasmine Womack, and I help experts and leaders to transform their $1 million message into a best selling book and high ticket coaching program. Today, I'm talking about how to build your brand as a high ticket consultant. Hi, my name is Jasmine Womack. I'm a wife, a mother, I'm a woman of God, and I am a trendsetter. I help authors, speakers, and coaches stand out as subject matter authorities on their topic and in their industry. And I do this by helping them to write and self-publish a best-selling book, and then I teach them how to turn their book into programs, courses, and premium price coaching communities. It's important to talk about this because as an author and as a writing consultant, I don't only work with people to help them share their stories and write books. My One of my sweet spots is actually helping authors to monetize what they're doing beyond the book. And so, one of the things that I teach in my programs is that just as much emphasis, if not more emphasis, needs to be placed on the marketing, on the monetization, and your beyond the book plan as it does into, like writing the book, releasing the book, and publishing the book. Okay. All right. But we're going to push on through with it anyway. One of the major mistakes that many authors make is that they focus too much on their story and not enough on solving a problem with their book, which is what you absolutely need to do when you're building a thought leadership brand, especially if you already have a business. Like when I meet business owners who have a track record of success and then they come talking about or saying or expressing the idea that they just want to write a book to talk about their life, the only thing I could do is shake my head. I'm like, I'm not the person for you. I can probably, refer you to someone, but typically memoirs, unless you already have a humongous audience, memoirs are not going to be that profitable. And so before you write a single word, you really want to think about how this book is going to fit into your overall brand and business. How this book can be used to further your message and further your mission, but also how do you plan to leverage it beyond the book? And so, one of the things that I teach is to actually write your book and leverage your book as a lead magnet to grow your business. Okay. And one of the reasons why I lean into growing your consulting business as opposed to growing your speaking business is because if you are new to speaking, it may take you anywhere between 3, 6, 9, 12 months, anywhere from 3 to 12 months to really book a solid paid speaking engagement. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. Building up your speaking brand is a separate brand, but you're also playing the long game. This is what a lot of people don't talk about. When you want to build a solid, sustainable speaking business where your referral pipeline is based on relationships and not on you making thousands of pitches to people who don't know you every single month. Because a lot of people will teach, hey, build up your speaking business by going to pitch this person, going to pitch that person, pitching 500 people per week, which ends up being 2 to 3,000 people per month. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. And there is a way to go about building your speaking business smarter and in a way that's more sustainable without having to do all that. But when you take the relationship route, it just takes more time. Whereas in consulting, especially if you are writing a book or you've written a book and now you're consulting others on something that you've already actually done or you've been doing, the journey to success can be a lot shorter. And I'm not speaking to any of you all in any charlatans who are saying something or promoting something because you think it will sell well. No, I'm talking to those of you like you have 25 years in HR and now you're teaching others, you're teaching entrepreneurs how to hire, you're teaching business owners things that they need in place, for employees and for contractors, like literally leveraging what you've already been doing professionally and using it and leveraging it in a way in which it's going to work for you. If you've started a podcast, you've been hosting a podcast for the past year or two, teaching others how to do that in a way that's simple. Or even providing the service where you're doing it for someone, providing done for you services. Honestly, providing done for you services is one of the fastest ways to grow your consultant business. And then you'll find through doing the done for you work that there are some people who just really want to learn. And that's where the coaching or the coaching piece will come in. So then you've got your book, you've got a coaching, consultancy package, and then you've got the done for you consultancy package. Let's talk about how to first build your brand and actually become known and respected as a high ticket consultant. And I'm going to be sharing with you all some of the things that I did, because at one point I was a writing coach, teaching people how to write their books, share their stories, and then publishing people's books for them. But when I decided that I wanted to work with a different type of client, when I decided that I wanted to, work with a different echelon, and I also wanted to charge a different rate, there was some specific adjustments and shifts that I had to make. So the first thing I had to do was that I had to shift my messaging, and that I had to use different language to talk to a different audience. So that meant that when I wanted to shift my brand into creating a high ticket consultancy brand, I let go of all the share your story information. I had some people that popped up on my profile last night when I mentioned this Tessa Ressa stuff that's been going on social media. And they were like, she shared her story so well. What are your thoughts? I'm like, I don't work with, that's why one of the reasons I don't work with people who only share their story. Because what's next? A week from now, a month from now, nobody will be talking about her. Everybody's going to know all her business. People are doing entire think pieces on all her business. And a month from now, people will likely have gone on to the next viral moment and next. That is not thought leadership. I said that those are my thoughts. So I had to speak to a different audience that had different goals, a different audience that had a different mindset as well. I had to change my language. I had to eliminate certain words and terms from my vocabulary and begin to incorporate other words and terms. I stopped using broke language, and I started speaking to the challenges that the people that I wanted to work with had. So when you want to shift into building a high ticket consultant brand, a brand as a high ticket consultant, the first thing that you're going to have to do is to adjust your messaging, because the people that you're likely targeting now with the messaging that you're using, that's going to be a different audience when you start talking differently. It's not going to resonate. It simply is, it's not. So like, even with this particular live stream, for example, I've titled it How to Build Your Brand as a High Ticket Consultant. I'm immediately weeding out people who don't align with that. So I know that people who only want to share their story, they're not thinking about building a brand as a high ticket consultant. They're likely trying to create mugs and t-shirts to bundle with their book. They're not trying to build a brand. They're not thinking about working with clients. They're likely are not even, it's not even on their radar to get featured in periodic in magazines such as Forbes, Entrepreneur Mag, Business Insider. No. So the language, just from the language already, I'm targeting a certain type of client. So when you want to begin to build your brand as a high ticket consultant, the first thing that you're going to have to do is to change your language and shift your messaging. And here's the thing, then you're going to have to give it time to stick. And this is what people don't say. And I talked about this with my mastermind clients yesterday during our coaching day. When you are shifting your messaging, you have to become so consistent. You have to become so consistent with putting your content out there with the new messaging and with the new language. And you need to give it time to stick and to resonate. So just because you put it out for a week or 2 weeks doesn't mean anything. You literally need to give yourself a runway 4 to 6 weeks, because it takes someone about 7 to 8 times of seeing something for it to even register to begin with, especially in social media and with the way that everything moves and with people's short attention spans, you have to be very consistent. You have to be loud, okay? And it needs to be for a period of time. You have to give it time to stick. So you have to speak to a different audience. You have to use different language. So I want you to think about the language that you're using now that has gotten you the clients that you want, that you have, versus the clients that you want to work with and what they will resonate with. And one of the best ways to do this is by conducting market research via interviews. If you have people that you want to work with that you feel like they would be a great client for you, but you haven't been able to get them on your radar, reach out to them and say, listen, I'm working on a new project and I would love to interview you. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm just trying to get some market research. It will take about 5 to 10 minutes of your time. And then after the interview, send them a gift, send them a coffee card, send them an Amazon gift card for their time. Because what is doing an interview going to do with them? It's going to show you how they're thinking. It's going to show you their thinking processes. It's going to let you in on their challenges. And it's going to allow you to see and hear the actual words that they're using and the ways in which they are expressing their challenges. One of the biggest mistakes that many consultants make when they're trying to grow their consultant business is that you're speaking in a way in which resonates with you, not in a way which resonates with the people that you want to work with. And the only way that you can really resonate with them is to actually learn how they're talking. Okay. So you need to talk to a different audience and you need to shift your messaging. The second thing that you need to do when you want to build your brand as a high tech consultant is that you need to elevate your branding. You need to elevate your branding. I invested in my branding tens of thousands of dollars when I was shifting. If you look at a lot of my old videos, I come on in workout clothes because I'm working from home. So it's easy for me to throw on some joggers or whatnot. I wasn't making myself, even if I have on some workout clothes now, please believe my face is going to be done. Why? Because I know that psychologically, my target audience responds to a consultant that is polished. If you don't think that your appearance has anything to do with your sales, you are sadly mistaken. The year that I changed my branding, we also tripled our revenues that year. It just is what it is. You can read sales books. People don't want to accept this, but you can read sales books and it will tell you this. So if you have homemade looking branding, or if the only branding that you have is a portrait mode in your phone, no, you're going to need to not just go work with any photographer. You need to invest in working with a brand photographer to get you some good branding shots. And even with your shots, it's a lot more than just you sitting at your laptop or holding a mug. Get away from the photos that everybody's doing. The photos that you take need to speak to what you do. So if you're, and the photos that you take need to speak to what you're going to sell. So if you look at my branding, you will see photos of me with groups. You'll see photos of me, coaching other people. You'll see photos of me working one-on-one with people. Why? Because if I'm promoting a VIP day, best believe I'm going to put out a photo of me working one-on-one with somebody. If I'm promoting my mastermind, best believe I'm going to put out some photos of me working in groups with my mastermind during our in-person sessions. If I am promoting my live event, best believe I'm sharing footage from the live event. Everything needs to align and you need to have a strategy behind what you're doing. This is one of the reasons why having a coach will help you, so that you're not out here trying to throw spaghetti at the wall and seeing what's going to stick, so that you'll actually have some direction and guidance behind what you're doing to actually accelerate and expedite your progress. All right. The third thing that you need to do when you want to build your brand as a high ticket consultant is that you have to showcase your expertise. This means that you need to get out of Canva and you need to come onto camera and talk about what it is you do. Even if you put up content using photos or quotes, we need to actually be able to see inside of your thinking processes. You need to share some of your strategies, your methodologies, client results. People need to see it if you're going to make them feel comfortable coming to you or doing business with you and paying you thousands of dollars to do that. You can't just create a program and say, hey, I have a program, and think that people are going to come work with you. I see it all the time. It's foolish. You think that you create a program and you think that because you promote it in your stories, people are going to gonna come in it. Or because you put up a funnel, people are gonna come in it. And you have said nothing about this. You said nothing about what it is you're doing. No, people need to see you talking about what it is you're doing. There needs to be some type of evidence of your expertise. And for my service providers, doing something is one thing, teaching it is something else. So doing something for someone is one thing, but if you want to, now if someone wants to learn how to do what you do, you're going to have to up level your communication skills. You're going to have to up level honestly your teaching skills as well. And this is another thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Doing it is one thing, teaching it is another. Okay. Number 4, if you want to build your brand as a high ticket consultant, you need clear offers. What are your offers? What are you selling? Not only what are you selling, but what problem are you solving with what you're selling, and who is that for? And a lot of times when people are talking about create an offer and sell it, they never stop to think about all of the details that go into that offer. Creating an offer is a lot more than just writing something down on a sheet of paper. We need to know who it's for, how it's going to help them, what it includes, how long it is, how is this going to be delivered? How frequently is this going to be delivered? Is it self-study? Is it hybrid? Is it one-on-one? Is it group? Will there be homework? If so, how much time can your clients expect to put into it every single week? Like, those are things you need to know ahead of time. And if you haven't thought that deeply into it, you need to think that deeply into it, because these are things that you need to be able to explain. These are things that you need to be able to do. Okay. And last but not least, if you want to build your brand as a high ticket consultant, and this is just a rule of thumb that I have, I never charge something that I've never invested in myself. I never charge something I've never paid. I never charge something I've never paid. And that is just something that I do for my own integrity. So if I charge $40,000 or $50,000 for one of my consultant packages, it's because I've invested that. I know what that type of package should look like and what it should entail. If I'm going to charge $10,000, $15,000 or $20,000 for a group coaching program, it's because not only have I invested in that and gotten results, but now I can help expedite my clients' results as well. And now I know what that looks like, and I know what it should look like, and I also know what not to do. Like, it's unfair to the client for you to try to charge something and you don't even know how it feels to pay that. You're trying to charge $5,000 for a VIP day and you don't know how it feels to pay that. You're trying to charge 10, 15 grand and you don't know how it feels to pay that. It's out of integrity. Not only do you not know how it feels to pay that, but you may not know how a program of that nature should run and operate and look like. Okay? So these are 5 different things that you need to keep in mind when you want to build your brand as a high ticket consultant. And with that, I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. And if you have any questions at all, just shoot me a DM or put a comment, and then I'll reach out to you so that we can have a conversation.